has been a big change for me is discovering and making up a few methods that really make it possible to practically include everybody that needs to be included in whatever needs to be done. Okay? And so discovering that this can be done effectively, this can be done over periods of time that are manageable, okay? That for me has been a dramatic change, you know, because it makes kind of the impossible possible, all right? And so that's, I would say that's been a big transformation, you know. So this whole, what I call liberating structure, you know, this whole collection of methods that make it possible to really, you know, address any problem and find a method or a combination of methods that will be appropriate to address this particular issue in a way that will be really inclusive, so that you can really tap into that magnificent intelligence that is around you, you know, that otherwise is out of the picture, you know, and the creativity and the energy and so forth.
I'm very interested in asking you to talk a little bit about liberating structures and maybe even discuss a specific example of a liberating structure and how that helps unleash the potential of an individual or the collective intelligence of the group.
One of the things that I've seen, at least in my environment many times, and I've seen it in many other environments, is a situation where somebody important makes a presentation and gives a speech to a large audience, okay?
In the university, I think that happens a lot. Henri.
Okay, fine. So you have a, whatever, Mr. or Mrs. Important, a president or whatever.
We say sage on the stage.
Is on the stage, and there's an auditorium, and there's maybe 300 or 400 people there, you know, listening, and this thing, you know, goes on with or without slides for, let's say, 20 minutes or something like that, okay?
An hour.
And then at the end, that person stops and say, thank you for your attention. Are there any questions? And then you have this sort of
pause.
silence. And very often, or most of the time, or practically all the time, nothing. And then maybe this one timid hand that says, yes, sir, or yes, I have a question. And usually that question ends up being a very innocuous kind of thing, you know? And we're not talking about reporters here, you know, we're talking about regular people. And so you have 2 or 3 questions, and then thank you very much, and then the thing is over, okay? So
what's wrong with that, Henri?
Yeah, right. What's wrong with that is that you have 300 people who had things in their head, and it never came out. It stayed there. So that opportunity to really have some meaningful interaction got lost. So we can introduce a very simplest of the simplest structure in this. So instead of saying, are there any questions? You could just say, all right, now I'm finished. I'm going to suggest to you to turn to the people around you and 2 or 3 and take 5 minutes or so to discuss with the person next to you, what is it that you heard? What struck you? What was important? What questions you have? You know, what is it that was missing that you would like to hear about? Whatever it is that you think is worth talking about. Discuss this, take a few minutes, 2 or 3, and then, you know, we'll take it from there. So you do that, you give that amount of time, and I guarantee that as a result of that, when you go back to that room and tell them, okay, now the various groups that they've formed, you know, what questions came from your group? You will now have a whole bunch of rich questions by just having introduced that little element. You have liberated the conversation. You have invited everybody to speak up. Not with you, they spoke up with somebody next to you, but that is the path for them. They have started speaking. They have started participating.
my sense is that those who work in a command and control environment, introducing that liberating structure can be very threatening, because now you don't know what the nature of the collective questions will be, and gee, now I'm not just the sage on the stage, but I'm that apple on which everybody can shoot an arrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is threatening because for the reason you would expect, because obviously when you do this, you're unleashing all those voices, and inevitably there's stuff that will come out that has been shoved under the carpet, or that are the controversial, the skeletons out of the closet, the things that are difficult to talk about are much more likely to come out. But the only thing it changes is now they are come to the surface, so now we can do something about it. They were there. They were not, they're not being created by the change in the conversation. They're now being revealed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which can only be a good thing if you choose to look at it as a good thing. Yeah.
They're there.
They're there.
Personally, I think it's fun.
To be, a bit out of control in some ways.
Yeah, because it's exciting. It is, something is happening. Yeah. It is, it's thrilling. It's a little bit like you're on the edge. You don't know what's going to happen. You have, your stomach gets a little tight, and you're, and that's the ride. It's a little bit, like if you're skiing and you're going in a place where it's a little over your level, and you're there. So, am I going to make it, or am I going to crash, or and but then when you come out of it okay, you say, wow.
That was thrilling.
It's and you're not alone.
Yeah.
Because when you do this with a group of people, they are with you. So it's not thrilling for you, it's thrilling for them.